All right, let's address his legs and his chest. So first thing, I'm going to use the small clippers, using the 12mm attachment to do the inside of the front legs. So I'm going to lift that up. I know it's hard to see, but just straight down the lay of the coat. You have to, when you're using these attachments, the coat has to be perfectly brushed out. Otherwise, it'll get hung up on even a small tangle. So if that happens, just rebrush. Maybe go through it with a comb to make sure you got everything. I know, buddy, if I could do it without touching you, I would, I promise. Inside of the other leg, maybe you can see this a little better. The hair is growing, not only right at the elbow is it growing straight down, but here to the side, it's growing at a bit of an angle. So I'm gonna keep trimming it at an angle. I don't think I did anything there, buddy. To get to his foot, I'm gonna hold his elbow so he can't wrestle away from me. He has a pretty strong aversion to things touching his legs. I'm barely touching him, but he's struggling pretty hard. So that's old age related for him. That wasn't really a problem in the past too much. I have a couple solutions for that. Now for the outside of the leg, I'm gonna move up to the 15. And I'm gonna start at the front actually and get this not all the way up the chest, but I am gonna make this transition from the upper arm into the main part of his leg. Make that nice and short. Make the leg into a 90-degree angle. Go with the direction of the hair growth. Go ahead and curl under a bit. And since I don't feel like this is taking very much off, so I'm actually going to go back to the 12mm. I don't know if that's because his hair isn't fluffed or what, but yes, now I feel like some hair is coming off. So go with the direction of the coat growth, smaller strokes so that I can keep staying with that. I can come back from the other side, coming straight toward me kind of slowly. That way I don't skin this area where one part of it's going that way, one part of it's going that way. So if you go over it too fast with a shorter blade, you'll make a bald spot. Now I'm going to do the lower part of the leg. Oh, I know, buddy. It's okay. Yeah. I'm going to brush it up. A little bit. Could use a comb, can use a brush. And I'm going to do that again. This is how I get the consistent results. Go over it multiple times. Less will come off each time. Since he wants to keep lifting that foot up, I'm going to do a trick. I'm going to lift his other foot up, and then I'm holding it with my last few fingers, and I have my thumb through the grooming noose just to help support me. And now, since he's got his weight off the other foot, he can't lift this foot up even though he wants to. So that's a way that you can fuss less, fight less, and still get what you need. Since he really wants to pull that leg away from me, I really have to hold it at the elbow. It's the only way to keep it still so I can keep him safe. All right, one last fluff up right here. Whatever I can't get with the clippers this pass, I'll go back with the thinning shears and even up a little bit so there's a nice transition from the short to the longer. For now, I'm ignoring the chest. I'm going back to this leg, since we're sticking with the 12mm now. Having to use a fair amount of strength to hold him still so he doesn't turn himself into a pretzel. And I'm doing the same thing I did on the other side with the grain. No, you can't really see that from that angle. Now, and you notice I don't put his foot down and start over with the holding. I just slowly switch my grip from one hand to another so that he understands this is a continuing process. If I put it down when he's fighting with me, he could start to learn, maybe not him so much, but standing on my comb, buddy. He could learn that when he acts up, even though it's coincidence that you have to put his leg down to change your grip, he might have the idea that that happened because of his resistance. So I don't want them to learn that by mistake, by accident, so I pretty much always change hands very deliberately. All right, now there's some room for a little bit of scissor trimming those, but let's look at the chest a little bit. So you can see there's kind of this mass of long hair here, and that could be fine. It's always going to be a little bit of a puzzle what to do with his chest. I'm going to move to the longest of the attachments. That way, since it changes grain, I won't make anything too bald. And I'm going to start on the sides. And I'm going to go ahead and trim with this long comb just to kind of see what happens, what's left, what's happening here. There's almost nothing's coming off. So then I'm going to switch to the next shorter one, the 15 millimeter. There, that's getting a little more length off there without running the risk of balding. The thing I'm watching out for here is that there's a part right here. And on this side, the hair is growing this way, and on this side, it's growing that way. So if you go against the grain in the wrong part, you'll bald part of it. So you have to be mindful of where that direction change, where that part is, where that direction changes. And that's why I like to use the long guard attachment, the comb attachment at first, to find where that is, find how long that is. And as long as I can keep taking it a little shorter with the attachment, I will. Thinning shears. Had them. Well, I'll do it with the straights for the moment. I'm going to go ahead and straight cut across the bottom of the chest. Give myself a little bit of something to look at there. Now, really do need these thinning shears now, though. These will do. So now, with the thinning shears, I blend from the outside of that area where the part is to the inside. I do it lightly. Where the short hair is on the outside, I want that to blend the most. And then I just working my way in from kind of both sides, try and keep it even. And come over here. You can see this, where I can see over here a little better. Okay. I can see it. It's not an angle. Okay, so that is more or less how I'm gonna do the chest, so it's short, but it's not too short. It fills in kind of this area here. I'm gonna come around to the side, and that's what it looks like from the side. Now, see how the elbows are kind of sticking out? So I'm gonna pick it up like I did for the clip comb, and then with the thinning shears, I'm just gonna make everything a little bit closer to the elbow. Again, I'm trying to kind of go with the grain of the hair. All right, now I have, that looks nice and smooth from the front. Smooth it out a little bit on the inside leg. Try to address things with the thinning shears first and then come back with the straight shears afterwards. And then we'll pick up the foot and clear that area, that line from the base of the big pad to the stopper pad. Do that, scissoring upward, and then to fix this sticking out part right here, I do that lower part going down, scissoring downward. Now take a look at it from all angles. See if there's anything kind of sticking out. And remember, there's a point. It doesn't get any more even. It just gets shorter.